For my project, I chose the ancient Arab culture, and you can't talk about their mathematics without mentioning al-Khwarizmi, which is who is the reason why we use algebra, the reason why we use the numbers we use today, the Arabic numerals. Al-Khwarizmi, he studied at Baghdad's House of Wisdom and created several books, one being for basic mathematics and equations that aided in trade, called the Compendable Book of Calculation by Completion and Balancing. I can imagine this book um, really helping people who are in the business of all the caravans and trading from city to city, that this book would probably help them a lot. The other notable work that changed history was his translation of the ancient Indian text, which is funny because all this math all stems from one source, and just one culture is taking the ideas of the other culture and just improving upon it. And I guess that's what discovery is. So he did translate an ancient Indian text that had to do with the calculation of Hindu numerals. The numerals went from nothing, so 0 wasn't really introduced yet, just there was the idea of nothing to 9. And it was a much easier numeral system than the Roman numeral system. Al-Khwarizmi's book was the first in its region to introduce 0 as a positional placeholder notation. Another Arab writer, Ibn Ezra, took that book and wrote his own called the Book of the Number and introduced the idea of integers based on 0, where he took the concept of nothing, 0, and took away from it a negative amount is what results. And if you took the concept of nothing and added a positive amount is what results. So this was the idea of solving addition and subtraction. Ibn Ezra introduced the linear base of integers, in which there exists both a negative and a positive of a number. He also introduces the name galgal, which roughly translates to wheel or circle, creating the theory that 0 is the shape of a circle. And this book carries into other cultures that soon use his vision of 0 as a circle, and that's why we do the circle. To talk about multiplication, that was built on top of the ideas of subtraction and addition, using the linear line of integers, meaning the numbers they use for adding and taking away, they would double to reach higher numbers. It would be a system of doubling and quadrupling, and they would be getting the answer just by adding groups of numbers together repeatedly. And that is what I learned about the ancient Arab culture and how they came up with the concept of 0 and how they learned the theory of doing addition, subtraction, and multiplication.